Chapter 11. Vital Magnetism. You must all realize it would be very harmful if everyone possessed strong magnetic power and used it for the purpose of gaining control over others and compelling them to carry out his wishes. Nature understands this, and you have to be capable of knowing how to use power before you will have it. There are some people that have such strong mental powers that it gives them an immediate control over others. These people use their power to a limited extent, but if they knew more of personal magnetism, they could accomplish a great deal more. The person with less mental power, if he studies these lessons, will be able to accomplish more than the one with strong power undeveloped. Very often I have the question asked, do you think people could develop magnetism if they were incapable of using it correctly? My reply is, you can develop yourself a great deal, but you yourself will have to determine whether you are capable of having great knowledge. We all may become magnetic and be able to influence some people. Your success will naturally depend on the development of your mental organization, and you'll have to do all you can to conserve and build up strength and stop any habit that will weaken or impoverish you. Methods of cultivating magnetism. That everyone radiates magnetic fluid can no longer be doubted. That this magnetic fluid can be wonderfully increased we know. The best method of doing this will be found in the following instruction. The eyes are the means by which we communicate our inner intention to another, and therefore we should see that these organs are cultivated to the highest possible extent. We use the eyes to express with, and if you will make a close examination, you will find that the eyes determine the first impression, whether it is good or bad. You may develop a steady, clean, and very penetrative eye by looking at yourself in the mirror. You will find there are very few persons who can look you straight in the eye while talking to you. Look at the mirror and practice keeping your eyes fixed without winking. Imagine that you actually look at another person, a person you want to affect by your influence. Not only look at your eyes in the glass, but concentrate your thoughts through the eyes. I had a student one time that changed himself in a few days by means of the looking glass. He had always been in the habit of looking downward when he talked, never looked anyone in the eye. In my first lesson I told him to look in the mirror and smile. Now I said, "You notice that you have a very attractive pair of eyes?" He said, "Yes, I see that I have, but I did not know it before." That is the trouble with most people. They do not know that the eyes have numerous uses. In taking exercise, be careful that you do not strain or irritate them. Just as you feel your eyes tiring, close the exercise with a quick, magnetic glance into the mirror, just as if you met someone you wanted to impress. You will find at first it will be hard to keep your eyes from winking and keeping the lids back, but you will be able to do this in a short time. In the beginning, you probably will not be able to continue the exercise for over a minute, but in a short time you will find that you can look at one object for some time. This will bring your mind into the exercise, and you will find that by keeping track of the minutes, there is a certain amount of interest to see how long you can keep your eyes concentrated on the second hands without blinking. Another good exercise to put more expression in your eyes while you are talking to someone is to look steadily in their eyes and speak every word as if it were through a visual sleeve. Never stare or look fierce, unless you really want to frighten them. By a little practice, you can cultivate the eyes as you can be controlled as you wish them, and you can focus them at one point for an indefinite time, but never overtax or strain them. Magnetic hands and fingers. If you can gently slap a person on the shoulder in a more artful and bold way, and at the same time concentrate your mind upon the contact, and willingly that you emit a current of your magnetism to them, you will find that in many cases he will experience a tingling feeling of warmth, or a noticeable shock as from an electric battery. There is no one that is not susceptible to magnetism, but there is a big difference in people. Those that have a powerful mentality could only be influenced by another of exceedingly powerful mentality. Before you can influence another, they must be in a passive or open mind. Those that you think you could least affect would be the easiest for you to affect. Never try to influence a person when they are excited, nervous, or under great anxiety or mental trouble. If these conditions exist, try to remove them by sympathy, cheerfulness, and your assurance that everything will probably turn out all right in the end. The more passive a person is, the easier he is to affect. The hands can be made a powerful means of imparting your magnetic fluid to others. If your hands are naturally soft and silky and perspire freely, it is of great help, as the magnetic fluid is an easy outlet. But if your hands are not so that they must be made so by rubbing them with some good oil every night, also rub your hands together a good deal. In this way your circulation is increased. This will soften and freshen them up, and cause your magnetic fluid to flow more freely. Whenever you have the chance of placing your hands on one you wish to influence, you should do it. At the same time that you will be imparting a flow of your magnetism to them. This will arouse the force within you and increase your magnetic power. Magnetic feet. It will probably be new to most of you that lower extremities are of very great importance to apply magnetic force. As you use your hands, your feet are throwing off streams of vitality which is assisting you, although you are not aware of it. There is always a powerful magnetic current flowing from the toes, and there have been some wonderful things done by people with their toes that they did not have hands. It is a matter of fact that the feet are generally well adapted for the flow of magnetism. By being protected by shoes, they are naturally softer. By walking, they become warmer and more moist and emit the vital fluid very easily. They do not need any particular cultivating. All you have to do is to become conscious that they are capable of imparting the force. Just remember that your feet will do their part. Light shoes with suitable stockings can be worn. Never wear heavy shoes that will not give your feet some freedom. The tighter the feet are increased, the more difficult for the vital force to get out.